Honorable Agbang S.K. Gbabin, Minister for Water Resources, Works and Housing, recounts growing up in a rural area and the importance of water for life there. According to the minister, we are compelled to spend a lot more in replacing broken down water systems, either because of lack of maintenance or because of lack of knowledge. We can meet the Millennium Development Goals if we address this. For Mr. Mintabuaji, Director for Water Directorate, making sure communities are provided with a level of service they can afford is critical. He stresses the establishment of systems where communities themselves assess what goes into the management of a facility so they can share in the costs. That will help the Directorate to budget properly, knowing very well that Ghana has a target of universal coverage by 2025. Mrs. Theodora Adumakwe J., the Extension Services Coordinator of the CWSA, understands a good service as convenience, availability, accessibility. Her focus is on equipping people with the right knowledge, information, the skills, and often overlooked the right attitude to take care of the facility. Her opinion is that we do not invest adequately in the software aspect, and it is forgotten after construction. Her big question is, how much will it cost to actually change human behavior? Mrs. Faye Ephraim, Eastern Zonal Planner of CWSA, feels that the focus needs to be on the long-term planning based on future scenarios that look at trends in costs, housing, and energy. CWSA exists because they want communities to be able to operate services so they can last as long as possible. There has to be the possibility to retrain and periodically evaluate what is happening in the communities. In Bosomtwe District in the Ashanti region, people work to make water and sanitation services available. Mr. Bartholomew Amponsa, the district water and sanitation engineer, is involved in proposing district budgets to the district assembly. 5% of system installation costs are covered by the district. Operation and maintenance expenditures are covered locally. Sometimes there is not enough money to cover monitoring costs, which prevents visits. According to the engineer, if you do not monitor and leave it to some communities, they will let anybody fetch for free and do not generate revenue. Mr. Francis Asari Kusi of the Kuntinasi Water Board manages the local system. He feels the system needs to provide a continuous flow of potable water. He also sees the need for extra system capacity to meet growth, but local funds cannot cover the cost of expansion. Households pay for direct connections. However, some who can afford a connection choose not to install one. Mr. Augustine Osu, Abono Watson Committee Treasurer, collects costs of parts from area mechanic. The mechanic tells the cost of the item, which is verified locally by Mr. Osu. He feels his community should charge more for water like other communities. Too little revenue is generated because some people would rather go to the lake for free. Kunib Banahene has been an area mechanic for 11 years. He travels to fix systems that are out of order in towns. Kunib finds that towns sometimes fail to maintain systems and expect the company or NGO to come back and repair the system. He only repairs systems of communities who are serious about maintaining facilities. As an area mechanic, he keeps track of prices by keeping in touch with stores and companies that provide parts for repairs. Equia Friye is a farmer and water vendor. She keeps 1/3 of income generated. Her concern is that there are too few boreholes to maintain services when the pump in one breaks down. However, the cost of a borehole is too much for the community. On the other hand, she is confident that with one other borehole, They should be able to maintain it without taking loans. They just use the revenue generated.